RAIZO! Chapter 992 of One Piece dropped. And look, I'm taken aback about what Oda's doing right now. And there's a couple of key things I want to touch in this chapter that I think are important. Then there's other things I want to touch in the chapter that I think are just crazy. But let's get into it, man. Let's go.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
Alright, look. Beginning of the chapter starts off Big Mom, Perospero, Marco having a conversation. Big Mom lets Perospero know that it was her idea to formulate the alliance between her and Kaido. Perospero said, you know, he was like, we want you to become king of the powers. Big Mom said, believe in me, I got this. So Perospero was like, all right. And Marco said that it seems like our goals don't align anymore. So I don't know what that means. If Marco is going to end up scrapping with them. Kurt is also on her way over there, and I know she wants Perospero. So those are factors, right? But specifically what I want to look at is what Marco said in his verbiage, in his wording. He said, the ogre Kaido. Now, at first, when I first saw this, I was like, you know what? DeAndre, you looking too much into this. It's probably just something he's throwing out there. But the more I look at it, the way it's worded, the way it's set up, that's not a coincidence that's there. Like, that's not a small thing. I actually think Marco is dead serious when he calls Kaido an ogre. Because we've been wondering what Kaido has been this whole time, right? There was speculation that he's an ancient giant. He's a part of that race or descended from that. We don't know if he's human or not. We assume that he's not because he don't look like a human. He got horns and shit. And the first person who give us any indication, hella spit flew out my mouth. The first person that gives us any indication of what Kaido is, I believe, has been Marco saying that he's an ogre. Just pay attention to that. It's not much I can say to build off of that, but just pay attention to that. Ogres might just be a smaller version of ancient giants. Just like humans are smaller versions of giants. I'm just saying, pay attention. Now let's get into the meat of the chapter, which was Kaido versus the Red Scabbards. And for the most part, this fight has went, as so far is going the way I expected it to go. The Red Scabbards pulling out combo attacks, showcasing. They look good, right? They look like they actually whooping Kaido's ass right now, right? And I anticipate that if it's not next chapter or the chapter that, if sometime down the line, Kaido's going to hit another gear. And when Kaido hits that another gear, the Scabbards are not going to be able to reach that level. And Kaido's going to wreck them. And that's where Luffy and the other members of the worst generation is going to come in. Right? And then, look. I don't know why. Like, it was frustrating in this chapter, right? Seeing Kaido in his dragon form. He's spamming breath attacks. Boro breath, lightning breath, all these breath attacks and shit. He's spamming. It got pretty annoying because I don't know why Kaido is so attached to this dragon form like Cell was with his perfect form from Dragon Ball. My perfect form from Dragon Ball Z. I don't know why Kaido's so attached to it, but he is for right now. And he's getting that ass spanked, and at the end, they just hit that scar. What I have to talk about is the ninja. The ninja. RAIZO. The ninja. RAIZO. Are we forgetting that he's a ninja? I think we got to accept the fact. We got to accept two things. RAIZO is a direct parody of Naruto That's one. And two, ninjutsu actually exists in One Piece. Like, ninjutsu is a real thing in One Piece right now. We have to accept that. Alright? We taking it in, we accepting it. It's still, you still can't convince me that RAIZO of the Mist is able to counter that freaking laser beam that Kaido fires out of his mouth that destroyed a fucking mountain. You telling me RAIZO can just summon a scroll and it can wrap around anything in existence and throw it back at them? Wait a minute. RAIZO's broken. RAIZO broken, ain't he? Anything? That attack is powerful as hell. He stopped it like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. And I know people are upset. I don't want Kaido to take too much damage. Like I said this before. Luffy's taking damage too. Luffy is taking damage too. That's one. And then there's, oh, Kaido, he just so he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to look stronger than this. What was your favorite quote for Kaido? The Kaido stands. What was your favorite quote? On a one-on-one fight, Kaido wins. What is he dealing with right now? 1v9? And he still ready win. That's what's really crazy about One Piece fans sometimes. Y'all quote these things for years. Y'all been quoting this shit. And here we are in a 1v9. And that same thing is supposed to apply here? Huh? I'm confused. Look, let me say this. The Yonko are clearly the strongest people in the One Piece universe right now that we've seen so far. It's pretty clear and obvious. But people want them to be so powerful that they can't be affected. They want them to be invincible. Because if Luffy beats Kaido in a one-on-one fight, it's a problem. If Kaido takes a little bit of damage before the fight, it's a problem. And if Luffy and others team up, depending on who he team up with, that's going to be a problem. Well, how the fuck is Oda supposed to write the story, guys? He built Kaido up to be this powerful, so of course it's going to take the non-Red Scabbers and Luffy and other members of the Worst Generation and other members on his pirate crew and other factors outside of that to beat this man. The One Piece community is irritating me right now. I'm tired of the complaints. The complaints a few weeks ago was fucking Big Mom because she got rolled out the fight. Bruh, these are not perfect. Big Mom already been shown that she's not perfect. She already been shown that there's a level of incompetence there. She's not stupid, but sometimes she lacks common sense. Sometimes she's a little goofy. Sometimes she's a little silly. And I think Oda's showing that even though these people are in position, even though these people are extremely powerful, they still do have flaws. If they didn't have any flaws, then there's no point in writing the story because they're unbeatable. It's not that complicated for me. I ain't even talking about the chapter right now. I'm building off of the chapter. But what I think is going to happen, if it's not that, because you never know what Oda jumps to. But the next time we see the fight, I believe that Kaido is going to hit that next gear. He's still dealing with the olden PTSD on top of that. But Kaido's going to hit the next gear. He's going to rep the Scabbards. And that's going to be that. Maybe not completely take them out, because I still believe that the Scabbards will end up fighting other people. Like, I think Denjiro has a big possibility of fighting Sasaki, for example. I think, that's what I think. They're going to end up having other fights outside of Kaido, and they're going to leave Luffy to actually deal with Kaido, because they know they're going to realize at the end of the day they can't beat him. They can do a little damage. They can get their attacks off. But at the end of the day, they're not beating Kaido. So that's where I'm at with that. As for the ogre shit, we will see in the future chapters of where Oda goes with that. Or if I'm just crazy, maybe I am just reading in too much into it. But to me, it looked a little too specific. To me, it looked like that was meant to be there. Ogre was a specific term that Oda wanted to put in there, because it came out of nowhere. The Ogre Kaido? Why not just call him a beast like everybody else call him? Why specifically a species? Why specifically a certain race? So that's why I'm looking at in that. Kaido's getting his ass whooped. He will completely turn it around eventually. Oda giving us a little bit of ass pulse, a little bit of comedy with RAIZO scrolls being broken now. They're broken. If they can wrap around anything and stop borrow breaths and shit like that. They're broken. The Scabbards got off a couple good attacks, you know. But other than that, the chapter was just a fight. You know, you if you're watching this video, most likely you read the chapter. So you know what happened, man. You know what happened.